Welcome in. Welcome back to the Bearded Bros Golf Show. I'm Rod.
And I'm Marcus.
So, of course, yesterday we had some technical difficulties. Life strikes, and we've had to push the show to today, and it's all good. Stuff happens, and here we are catching up on, FedEx Cup standings. Ryder Cup is coming up upon us, so big movement there. With Brooks Koepka falling out of the automatic spot. So that's
Yep.
worth some discussion and figuring out who those six captains picks are going to be. The European side is very interesting to me just because the talent pool is not as deep on the European side. So
Right.
it's going to be very interesting how they fill out the final part of their roster with only three people selected so far on the Euros. So let's just jump into it. I think for me the most intriguing story is the Brooks Koepka story. So he went into the week solidly in the fifth place spot as a result of his finishes in the majors earlier this year. Of course, winning the PGA, high finish in the Masters, second place finish in the Masters. I think tied for 17th and the U.S. Open, and so really strong showing this year, and was able to, with limited starts, that qualified, be able to fall into the fifth spot, but.
Yeah.
Some scenarios did not break his way this weekend with Xander Schauffele pushing him out, as well as I think it was Max Homa. Let me check my
Yeah. No, Max
notes.
Homa. Yep.
Max Homa, and so yeah, I mean it was disappointing. I hadn't really talked about him being in an automatic spot up until this week. Again, just many different scenarios. So now that he is out, what do you think about his standing, and should he be one of those captain's picks? Let's just talk specifically about him, about Brooks Koepka right now. What do you think about that?
Yeah. I mean, the way he's played, I definitely think he's earned his way into one of those captain's picks. Because all the guys you think about that could be on that list for captain's picks from the PGA Tour side, I don't know. They haven't really been performing of late towards the end when it's really mattered. Like, thinking about a guy like, unfortunately, like a guy like Tony Finau, where, you kind of think he's one of the clutch vets and stuff like that. And, he didn't really close out his season. Probably, honestly, the way he wanted to either. So
Yeah,
I think he's a leg up on one of those guys. And of course, he's always a big time gamer. So, much rather would rely on a guy like Brooks than, on somebody that's teetering, like a guy like Tony Finau. Then, of course, you got guys like Justin Thomas on the way, teetering on the edge as well. Fan favorite, team favorite, especially when it comes to Ryder Cup. So you definitely got to believe
yeah.
that he's going to be one of those captain picks too. So, but yeah, I think Brooks Koepka has done what he's supposed to be doing, especially major wise, especially when it matters the most. So I think he's earned a spot, one of those
Yeah.
captain picks on the Ryder Cup for sure.
Let's look at the list and kind of see where people stand in terms of their ranking points. Pull this up here. Let this pop on the screen. Can you see that?
Yep.
So
Looking at
let's skip
it.
down. So we know we already have Scottie Scheffler, Wyndham Clark, Brian Harmon, Patrick Cantlay, Max Homa, and Xander Schauffele already locked down. Those spots are guaranteed. There
Yep.
will be no change in the top six this week. And so underneath that, as we said, we have Brooks Koepka in the seventh spot. As you can see, denoted, he's lost two positions here. Jordan Spieth underneath that. Cam Young is one that's really intriguing to me. He had to do some things. He could have locked in a spot this past week, but did not.
Yeah.
Colin Morikawa, Keegan Bradley's quietly had a really solid season this year. Pocketing a win, some really reputable finishes throughout the
Yeah.
season, and so he's an interesting consideration. He's going to take it seriously. I'm kind of pulling for him. As he gets a little bit deeper into his career, it'd be nice to be able to see him get one. Sam Burns, I think, is going to have a long career. I don't know. He's not exactly been playing well. He had a
Yeah,
really solid middle of the season, but has not really performed deep into
yeah.
the season.
I think
You
if
know,
you
what
look
about?
just at yeah,
Go ahead. No,
I
go
think
ahead.
I think if you look just at this list, just as you have it right here, I think you have to go Brooks, Spieth, Morikawa, Bradley, Fowler, JT. That would be the six I would pick just off of this list alone.
Yeah,
And just like you said, Cam Young's young. He's gonna play again. Sam Burns young. He's gonna play again. So although you feel like sometimes they've been in the spot and that you feel like sometimes they deserve it, feel like you got to go with like a vet that may be not getting that opportunity again, like a Keegan Bradley, because he is so
yeah,
high, and then of course he switched over. Just a little small thing like him and Max Homa, they both switched over to aim point, and their putting has become pretty phenomenal again, at least in short spurts. When it comes down to getting on the green with your teammate in a foursome or in a four ball, you need a guy that you can count on to make putts. And I think with the new aim point that they're doing, you got to go with a guy like Keegan Bradley. You got to. I
yeah,
think he's really nailed it down, him and his quirky style and stuff like that. So I believe he should, be get one of those spots. And
yeah,
he's done enough. He's done enough this year, and he's won. He's went out and flat out won, and he's always competed. He's made the top 50 or whatnot. I don't think he quite made it to. You think he made it? Did he make it to the tour finals? Can you see that?
I can. Let me pull that up here. Took that down off the
I don't know if
screen, but
his
let me.
win did him good enough to where he's in the tour finals automatically.
Okay, I'm going to switch tabs here to our FedEx Cup standings, and so looking for Keegan Bradley. Yep, he's in the 11th spot.
Wow.
He moved down three um, after last week's results, and so yeah, he's in there.
Okay. So yeah, then that seals it to me. If he's in the tour finals, he's done enough. I think he's got to get one of those spots.
Yeah, yeah, I think so as well. And just very curious. I don't think Keegan has Keegan Bradley made a Ryder Cup. Yes, so he played on the 2012 and 2014 teams, and part of this discussion about the Ryder Cup is that the current six that have made it, three of those have experience, three of those are rookies. So you have Brian
Yeah.
Harmon, Max Homa, and shoot, Wyndham Clark.
Yeah.
They're
Rookies.
all rookies. Wyndham Clark really has this year made his ascension and made himself known, put himself onto the scene. Prior to this, I mean, he's not really had a lot of big game experience. And, Max Homa, I think, performed admirably last year in the President's Cup. And, really after last week, he hung up there in the top of the leaderboard, wasn't able to close out the deal, with a hot Hovland and some other players sniping him out. Again, Rory, we'll come back to Rory on the European side, but him playing solid golf again, even though he
Yeah.
did not win, just competing in the top tens every single week at this point.
Yeah.
So yeah, the U.S. needs some experience. We're changing the guard. You have names that are no longer going to be associated with the team. Your Phil Mickelson's, which he's been out for a couple of years. We're missing DJ for sure from last, Ryder Cup. Another couple of names that have been thrown up for consideration for captain's picks, but I don't think that they really have a shot. I think if you get Brooks in there from the live side, you have Bryson DeChambeau, which we talked about his 58 a couple weeks ago. I don't think the guy is a good team room, guy. He doesn't seem to mesh well with the other players on the team, and I just think that's too much friction, especially in a team event. And you have what's the other guy's name that's won like three times? He's so
Gooch.
insignificant. Gooch, Taylor Gooch. You know, he's won three times on the Live Tour, but
Doesn't
in the
even matter.
majors this year, no. Tied for 34th in the Masters, missed the cut in the Open as well as the PGA Championship. That just
Yeah.
doesn't speak very well to his game traveling, and he's self eliminated. I don't think
Yeah.
you have to stretch to get the live guys in there again. DeChambeau is hot as of late, but has not had a really particularly good season, and DJ has had a poor season just in general. No matter
I
what
mean,
tour
but
he's played on, he's not
yeah,
been
I mean,
well.
besides the 58, what has DeChambeau done? And Gooch has won 3 times and still hasn't even made an indention into the paragraph of golf this year. Like, what are we talking about? You won
Yeah.
3 times and they were so insignificant that we're not even like, yo, that Gooch guy, he's won 3 times though. Okay.
No, but just for kicks and giggles, I know official world golf ranking has taken its tumbles this year with everybody talking about it. But let's just see where Taylor Gooch lands. I know officially Bryson DeChambeau is 113th on the official world golf ranking, and Taylor Gooch is 122nd. Again, when you limit your exposure and your starts on major tours, you kind of have to just deal with what you deal with,
Yeah.
and you sacrifice those points, and you have to perform when it's time to perform at the end of the
Yeah.
day. And neither one of those guys have done so, so they're not really, to me, a valid part of this conversation. And so we talk
Agreed.
about it. Let me think about where, or not think about, but where I would put some of these people. I don't disagree with your list. Again, Tony Finau not really putting himself in a good spot to get that. So you went Brooks Koepka, Jordan Spieth, Morikawa, Keegan Bradley, and Ricky Fowler, correct? Or did you
Yeah.
say
And
Justin
and
Thomas?
Ricky Fowler and JT, yeah, that would be my six. The only person that I could see being interchangeable here would be I would switch a Morikawa for like a Sam Burns. That would be my
Yeah.
only kind of objection. I'm not seeing
So
anybody.
So I'm devil's advocate. We talked about this when a couple weeks ago when he got hot. But Lucas Glover, let's say he
Right,
has a
you
really
did.
high finish this week. I think he could be up for consideration. It's a once in a lifetime deal. I think he does have to perform this week to really, command that and put
He
himself
got to be like
in
top five.
squarely in the conversation. Yeah, I think so. But I think if he does that, I mean, that makes it, I
Right.
don't know.
I
That
mean,
makes
he's
it tough. That makes
16.
it a tough call.
He's right behind JT and he's trending up while JT's trending down. I mean, JT
Yeah.
literally is like JT made a post today on IG and it was very, I mean, I wouldn't say it was coded because I felt like it was pretty, open with what he was trying to do, but like pretty much seemed like he was trying to wait for next year to get his place back going. He's like, got a couple more events in the fall, to get the juices back flowing, but looking forward to next season. That's pretty much what it sounded like to him. So,
Yeah.
he looking for the father son PNC deal, probably a couple of those
May-
charity joints. I don't know.
Maybe he's got an indication from Zach Johnson in the background, like, "Hey, man, this is not going to happen this year. This is not your
Right.
love you, but your game's not where it needs to be right now. You've struggled with some things. You're still, you're definitely." He was experimenting his ass off at the end of this year, throwing stuff at the wall with the new putter for 1 week, took it
Yeah.
back out of the bag. He just couldn't figure it out. We talked about his, not, I wouldn't say it's a swing change, but he was definitely trying a flatter plane on the takeaway, and so yeah, I don't see it. I could easily see a swap out for Lucas Glover and JT.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I agree. Looking down the list a little bit further, I didn't see anybody else that I would, pick out of that top 15, and so yeah, I
Yeah.
mean it'll be very interesting to see how this week pans out and see if somebody really pulls their game up and impresses and comes out of nowhere. Maybe
Yeah.
Cam Young's been pretty quiet, so I agree. I wouldn't pick him either. Let's swing over to the European side. Right
Yeah.
now, they only have three confirmations. Victor Hovland played out of his mind on the back nine this past Sunday. Just went
28.
bananas, 28 on the back. They talk about his improved short game. When you're hitting all the damn greens, I don't think it matters, right? Is
I
is, is
mean,
that something you can do every week? No, but he was killing it.
so his back nine, Rod, he had proximity of birdie putts. It was something like 2 feet, 1 foot, 3 feet, 1 foot, 6 feet, 7 feet, 6 feet. That's
Yeah.
it. Like, I mean, when you're that close, the chipping ain't gonna be an
Yeah.
issue, my boy. Mm.
Right. Right. And he's also just week to week. Victor Hovland, his game travels, man.
Tunnel vision,
Dude
straight
is,
ahead. Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Every week.
Um, every time they show him like on TV, they're just like, oh, he looks real laid back and chill. I think just as a side, I think Victor's a smoker. Like
I was
he
about to say
indulges
they.
in
I
the
don't think
in
they
the
test for
Mary
that shit
Jane.
no more. 100%. I
They
don't think they
don't.
test for that.
They
He be
don't.
real vibey,
And I
and
think
his swing
he's
flowy
doing.
too.
I know it's like he's either on those edibles or something, and I think it's a nod. And the way that they say it, it's just like a
Yeah,
constant mention of him looking laid back. So I wouldn't be surprised if Victor, finds a dispensary wherever the tour is
absolutely.
traveling that week.
He's got a plug. He's plugged in wherever he needs to be.
That's right.
Needless
That's
to
right.
say.
So Hovland's confirmed. Rory McIlroy and John Rahm are confirmed on the European side.
Yeah.
I'll pull up their list and where they're at. Let's see here.
And I think the European side is a little. I think, although they only have three, I think they're very solidified because they know what they can do, and they've done this before because they've had shitty teams before with superstars on it. I mean,
Yeah,
you just ride your coattails. They're gonna play 5 rounds. They're gonna play all 5 matches, and then from
yeah.
there you just have like a Tyrrell Hatton and a Tommy Fleetwood. They'll play 3 or 4. Adrian Meronk, he'll play 3, and then you go from there. You got like, I mean, Erasmus
Yannick
Højgaard,
Paul.
Shane Lowry maybe gets a pick.
Yeah,
Yannick Paul, I don't know. Bob McIntyre though, he probably in there. I think you. I mean, well, as far as like DP World Tour points, he probably already is qualified, and I think Meronk is
yeah. I think he's
qualified as
close.
far as those points. Yeah,
Yeah,
and then
because
Shane
Hovland's
Lowry
not
over the
even on their
majors.
list.
Yeah,
But you can see the separation in their
easily.
point standings. Rom 34-17, Robert McIntyre 17-34. Just a
Right,
whole,
getting doubled up. Yeah,
17, 1,700 points.
yeah,
Like we said earlier in the year, Adrian Moronk pretty much plays every damn week. Can't wait to
yeah,
see him over here on the PGA Tour. Dude's a gamer, brings his
for
game every
real.
week. You mentioned Rasmus Højgaard. He's probably going to be in. Young Gunner. Um,
Beats the ball to
Shane
death.
Lowry.
He's a long one.
Yeah. Tyrrell Hatton will be in.
Yeah,
Um, then it starts getting older.
yeah.
Hovland we know is in. Use Loudon.
No,
Bro.
no.
That, oh man.
Moving on. No,
Torborn
no,
Olesen. Oh
no.
man, this is getting tough, man.
You
It's
got to look
getting
at a guy
tough.
like Laura Thabo. Laura Thabo won twice and is only at 1100. He won twice and is only at 1100. Won at
Yeah.
Jack Nicklaus's Korean course with like a score of like 7 under. He was going crazy this final day. He went clutch.
Bro, we we could see the Ryder Cup get clinched on day 2. This is pretty weak, man.
Yeah, I mean, if America comes out and plays like they're supposed to, it really could. But I mean,
Yeah,
you saw it. What was that year? 2021, where we tried to run away with it. Third day came and they kind of tried to make a push, but yeah, it was just a matter of who's going to get that last final like half point or whatever. And then it was like just 4 or 5 random matches. Like, do we have to finish? I mean, I guess like let's just go ahead and play it out. Like,
right, right, right. It
bro,
could be real a snoozer.
for
Kind of
real.
circling back. We got Perry chiming in here. Love Brooks, but he can't be on the team. One hasn't played well since PGA. U.S. team can't afford distractions on the road, and Brooks would be a constant distraction for the U.S. team in the press events. Yeah, I know. I mean, those questions will come up. if he does make the team. But I guess my only argument for it is I get it. He's not been hot, and we've had limited exposure. He didn't,
Yeah.
wasn't really at the top of the list on the in the Open. I think for me, the only argument is if he does not make the team, especially after staying in the automatic, kind of in that automatic spot for so long, is that
Right.
the U.S. team is, that there's this separation, right? And so
Right.
you have to talk about the politics and bull crap of it all and kind of soothing that over. I totally understand that that's BS, but with them trying to get this deal together, which we still don't know much about at this point, it's kind of like a Hail Mary,
Yeah.
and that's the only reason that, not the only reason, but it's a strong argument for doing it. You don't have to play him a ton, even though his record in the Ryder Cup is pretty strong. We know mentally he gets up for competition, so
Right.
I think Brooks can be a gamer. We didn't expect him to come out and win the PGA this year, but he
He
talks
did.
that talk, and so I get where you're coming from, Perry, but I think there are some arguments against for
Yeah.
putting him on the team. So
Facts. I feel like I definitely see where you're coming from, Mr. Wiggins. But I feel like
yep,
the only way this happens, him not being on the team, is if literally like Zach goes to the automatic qualifiers and who he thinks he's gonna put on the team, the other like strong 10 or 11, and they're like, okay, I don't need any on the fence answers. I need black and white, yes or no, Brooks Koepka. Do you want him on the team? And it had to have been like a majority say no. Otherwise, the way he plays the majors and the way he gets up for like big shit like this, I would have to say he's, despite the live BS in the background, I think he's on the squad, man. I think he
yeah,
is. And this is coming from a guy that's like, yo, DJ's my guy, but like, bro, you're on live. Like, I don't really fuck with you like that. But like Brooks has done the things this season, to I feel like
yeah.
to rightfully
I know,
deserve the spot. Ugh, I hate saying
I
it.
know.
Ugh.
It's tough. It's tough, but it's something we're all going to have to navigate through and still kind of deal with this over the next couple of years. And
Yeah,
it's one of those things that none of us asked for, but here we are dealing with it. It is what it is.
it is what it is.
Yes, right. Um, let's talk about the FedEx Cup and kind of the finale this week.
Yeah,
It's crazy how fast and slow the golf season has been. I hate that we don't
for
have the
real.
wraparound anymore. Because if you live in Texas like we do, like it feels like golf season should be going on for a whole another
All the time.
3 months. I
Yeah,
mean, Jesus, this heat that we've been experiencing, I get it. Like we're going to be playing golf for the foreseeable future, and to see professional golf kind of wind down outside of next week, we have the Ryder Cup.
yeah.
LPGA is like flaming the heck out. So we go again with, you know, similar situation to last year. Uh, Scottie Scheffler leading the FedEx Cup, and Rory McIlroy right behind him in the number 2 spot. John Rahm fell off to 4 this week, which was, he's been playing kind of like garbage lately, and I hate
Yeah,
saying that because I love John, but he's been struggling
yeah.
and hadn't been able to get his swing together, which doesn't bode very well for him heading into the Ryder Cup. So I guess the question is, can Scotty close the deal this year? What do you
No,
think, man? You give him no love?
no. I mean, Vicar Rory is gonna take it. I think, and that's the crazy part because like Rory's gonna always do some things where it's like, bro, like this, you got this in the bag, and then you do this, and you're still gonna end
Yeah,
up trying to win it. Or Victor Hovland just keeps putting the pedal to the metal, and he just goes bonkers since he's already like top three, and he's not gonna be starting that far back anyways. I mean, he probably starting the. I mean, with that win, he's probably second now. He's gonna start 8 under to Scottie's 10 under. He's only 2 back. I mean,
You're saying for Hovland?
yes.
Let me see here. I
Or
have
is
it pulled
Rory
up.
too? Because I
So
feel
we
like
have
with
Scottie Scheffler
Rory,
one.
yeah,
Yeah, you're right. Scottie Scheffler one. Victor Hovland two. Rory
yeah.
three. John Rahm four. Lucas Glover in fifth place.
Yeah, I mean, Lucas is gonna have. So for me, Lucas is gonna have to first day make a push. If he doesn't push
Yeah.
on that first day, his honeymoon set is over with. If he makes that push and he goes under 4, 5, gets up around 10, something like that, and then kind of evens some playing fields and goes, I think he has a chance, a legitimate chance. But this is also why, like we were talking about earlier in the season, the point situation, the head starts and stuff like that. I think they got to dead that. I think we got to go back to whoever makes the top 30. I think we all start even playing field again, and we do point
Yeah.
system so that way it's parity again, not just all for one. We're all trying to go for that 19 million, bro. I need somebody to go for the win. And then I need somebody to be like, well, I just need to get top 10 and do the rest and have this shit play
I'm.
out, and then I won the FedEx. You know what I'm saying? That's an
I'm.
easy 10
No.
mil, and then you got
I
9
know.
million
I'm.
going for just a
I'm
win
gonna. I'm
of
gonna.
the tour championship.
I'm gonna disagree with you here. Here's why.
Okay.
I feel like there's not a way to reward the guys who have performed this year, right? And so it's very interesting when you look at the list of guys who are at the top of the FedEx Cup standings and then the fall off directly underneath that. So
Mhm.
follow me. I'm going to share my screen again. Let me pull this up. But just so we can illustrate this point a little bit clearer and it can be seen. So PGA Tour, FedEx Cup standings. Okay, so here at the top of the list, we have Scottie Scheffler. You know, the points are one thing, not going to focus on that. But when you look at the total number of wins, Scottie's got two, Hovland's got two, McIlroy's got two, Rahm's got four with the major, Lucas Glover's got two, Max Homa's got two, Patrick Cantlay in seventh place with no wins, right? And yes, he's performed, and I'm sure he's been in top tens, top 15s all year. A lot of guys that have won majors are clearly on this list. Brian Harmon, with his major win in the Open, Wyndham Clark with the U.S. Open, and also the Wells Fargo. It would be tough to
Yeah, go
punish
all the way down
guys
to the
for
bottom.
winning.
No, no, no,
So,
no. That's what I'm saying. Like they're still gonna. That's what I'm saying though. Like you're not punishing them for winning because they already got bread for winning. But I'm saying though, like you got go back up to the top, scroll back up to the top because you got
okay.
well. First of all, prime example, John Rahm won 4 times and he's not even number one on the list with a
Yeah, but
major.
those early season events, right? So we have him winning the Masters, correct?
Yeah, and the American
And
Express and all that bullshit. But still, 4 wins is 4 wins.
I know, but then you also have to look at yes, it's four wins. They were early in the season. I'm pretty sure that American Express has a. They're considering that field pretty weak at this point.
Hmm.
Um, and then he hasn't played well the second half of the year at all.
Right.
I mean, at
That's
all. He's
yeah.
been bad.
That's what I'm saying. That like that's see, but that's like I get like why you're using it, but also to like prove my point. I feel like that's also a prime example of why it should be a tournament within a tournament, not all lumped together. Because he could come out of nowhere, have and say he wins two, say he wins the Masters and the American Express. That puts him like
Hmm.
T11. T11 to start or whatever or 11th going into the tour final. And then he gets hot again and he wins the tournament. But because he fell off, like we were talking about, he doesn't deserve to win the actual FedEx Cup. He just played well enough to win the tour championship. And then somebody else that's
Yeah.
been that consistent throughout the year, still has enough points, still has enough wherewithal to win the whole thing and get that 10 million. And then whoever won the tour championship gets their little 7.58 cool million, and you still getting paid out the wazoo. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like they should split it back up. But
So
again,
should they? Should they? So here's another thought or just idea. Should they just kill the FedEx Cup altogether and just end the season? And where you end at, maybe add a couple tournaments at the end that are not made. After the Open, do you play a few more tournaments and the points are the
like
points?
designated events to make them
No,
more points.
maybe. And then, but you're not playing it as a play. Like this is the structure with the playoffs, and I don't know, man. Is there a flaw in that in this system in general that there should be a playoff, or we're talking here about wins counting, and you shouldn't be penalized, for winning. You should be rewarded for that. Do you just end the season without the playoff format? Because
Well, I
are
think
we really
yeah,
are we crowning the best winner or the
I
best
think we're
player?
crown. I think that's why you can't drop the tour championship, because you're crowning who was the most consistent. Because I mean, you got to look like in similar systems. You got to look at, like, for instance, Formula One. Formula One, freaking Max Verstappen, he's just literally running through this shit. So he won the season. He's gonna win the cup. Like, he's gonna win. He's gonna clean sweep it. So I feel like if they're gonna have
Mm-hmm.
a similar system to that, there cannot be this crazy weighted. Some wins are 250 FedEx points, but then other wins are 1,000. I feel like every PGA win has to be at least 500. You won on the
Yeah.
PGA, it's got to be 500. Batia won that off field event, it's got to be
Yeah.
500. And then
Hmm.
the Scottish Open, that one that you did for the little merger between DP World Tour and PGA,
Right.
you make that elevated and you make that like 600, but you don't skew it to where it's like 500, 250. 250 doesn't make an input. That doesn't make
Like
enough.
you don't care. You don't care about the strength of field. You just think an event should be. Doesn't matter who's playing it.
Right. Because, I mean, at the end of the day, a win is a win and the bread is going to stack. So why not make
Okay.
it that? Why not make that translate to the standings and stuff too?
So let's consider one more thing here, and just a question: who would you be disappointed if they won the FedEx Cup? So let's look at the top 10. And is there somebody that if they won
Brian
this,
Harmon.
you'd be like, what the hell?
Brian Harmon.
Just
I mean,
Brian Harmon.
that was the most fairy tale ass Open Championship win ever. Wyndham Clark
What about
randomly,
what,
like, what?
what about Matt Fitzpatrick? If
I don't
Matt
want to see him
Fitzpatrick
win.
won the
Period.
FedEx,
I don't want to see him win. Period.
you would be
And I saw
that would be disappointing, right?
it wouldn't be disappointing. It'd be weird. Like, I don't know. I don't know. I have a weird dynamic with Matt Fitzpatrick because, like,
What's
Matt
that?
Fitzpatrick is a grinder. Love it,
Yes,
respect it.
yes.
But, like, bro was a straight goofy in the freaking Netflix special that they did on golf.
Why is
I,
he a goofy?
I like
what,
his
what
his
did I miss
portrayal.
there?
His portrayal of himself was just like, I don't know. I guess he's just being European. I don't know. They do things different that way. He
He's
looked lame to
okay.
me. He
Like,
looked lame to me, just
and
personally
he is
speaking.
he's a bit of a weirdo. He's a quirky dude. Anybody that makes notes on every single shot that they take in every single round
Since the
and keeps
USM, since
them,
they were like 15 on an Excel sheet at the house.
he's he's different, right?
Yeah, super.
He's awkward. That's why it talks about it speaks to a whole different dynamic about
Right.
success and
But he plays
what you get out
fast.
of life.
He's prepared,
Yeah,
and I love it. That boy,
yeah.
ooh,
It's
he do one little practice wiggle, like, ooh, one position, we good.
and
Ooh,
then he's ready to hit.
steps up to the
So
ball,
you're
one hand
torn,
on the
right?
club. I'm torn. Bro is weird. Bro is weird. I can't have him winning. But like, kudos to Fitzpatrick for
Whatever.
playing fast golf, knowing his stats, and like I feel like he's so just he doesn't
So
do
you're
like John
saying
Rock. Go ahead.
so anybody outside of the top 7, you're like so Matt
No, go back to the
Fitzpatrick.
list because I feel like that's. But see, that's what I'm saying. Like, then you got like fan favorites that's mixed in that 15 to 30, where it's like, yo, I just got crazy hot, and I just deserve to win the tour championship. Don't give me no real money. I don't need 20 mil, but that little 8,
Okay,
give me that.
so let's walk our way back from 15, right? So Xander Schauffele
Yeah.
generally plays pretty decently at East Lake.
Yep. At
You
East Lake.
disappointed?
No,
No wins this year. You're not disappointed if he somehow sneaks this out.
I'm not disappointed. I'm not
Okay,
disappointed. Ricky Fowler, happy for him.
I think he deserve it. Yep.
Yeah. Got okay. Random enough. Russell Henley. If he were to win it, I'd be like, yo, that's a crazy story. Let's get into it. Or like Tommy
I like
Fleetwood.
Russell.
I do.
I've liked Russell Henley's game.
Nike
He is
athlete
just
forever. Oh, 100%. 100%.
he's just sneaky good. You know, I remember when he first came on the scene, one in
Rookie year.
Hawaii.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Sony Open. Crazy.
and yeah, I saw, and he's just consistent, right? Like you just
100%.
wouldn't think man would be at 12th at the end of the year, but here he is, right? No
Here he
one
is.
win,
Yep.
one win. I don't even know what event that was, but
Exactly.
one win this year. Let's see. What else? Who's up ahead of that? While I looked it up.
Tommy Fleetwood. Tommy Fleetwood. If he got his maiden PGA victory, tour championship
No,
only though. Didn't win the whole thing.
no.
Just won the tour
Okay, yeah,
championship.
I would have respected. I would have respected.
That's what I'm
But
saying.
I'm
That's the
so
thing.
I don't think Tommy has that in him though. That's the problem.
Patrick Cantlay. I don't need you to win everything. Because then you're gonna be like, bro, the system works. I'm gonna keep playing 6-hour rounds. No, bro. No. Absolutely not. Absolutely not, brother.
So the
Keegan
win for
Bradley.
Russell, the win for Russell Henley, the Worldwide Technology Championship. No
What the?
idea.
Yeah, WTF, Rod. Where
No
was that
idea.
at?
I don't know.
Boy, that is a fall series event name if I ever did hear one, brother.
That's crazy.
The Fortinet 5G LE Championship, boy.
Triple Gold Classic of Utah.
Come
Yeah,
on,
I don't
man.
know.
Please.
I don't know. I do not know that one off the top of my head.
No clue.
So who else we got here?
Yeah,
We're kind of back in the we're back in the main
Yeah.
group again.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
I wouldn't mind and like a guy like Max Homa. I'm on the fence about that. I wouldn't mind him winning
Oh
it
no,
all, but like I kind of see
no.
him just like, yo, I need you to just get that tour championship and get up out of here. I just need you to go ahead and win the last one, and you good, bro.
I would.
That's how he plays.
I mess with Max, and I criticized him early in the year or kind of the last half of the year because after the West Coast swing, where he's from, kind of disappeared. As we started moving.
Yeah, he ain't got
south.
no shortages. No, 100%.
Yeah,
100%.
and I don't know if he doesn't jive with the heat or what, but he was able to figure it out kind of the last half of the season and bring it back around. And I hope that I hope he's finding form again. I think, he looked good, much of last week, and I think he can bring it back around. So yeah, and Eastlake doesn't necessarily set up. I remember when they first started playing there, it felt like it played long as all get out, but it doesn't really feel like that anymore. Like it's
right.
I think
Anybody
you can get
can win
around it no matter exactly. I think it's universal. It doesn't favor long hitters. Can it help you? Always, right?
Yeah.
But does it favor you or guarantee you that, a Brian Harmon would not be able to compete? Not at all.
I feel like the only way that a player like Harmon, a player like Fitzpatrick, Fitzpatrick, he plays a low flight. He plays a low trash. because he wants rollout. That's how he gets that distance. So when,
Yeah.
you know, those random times when Atlanta's just super wet, done got some rain off the coast somehow, some way off the Atlantic, then it becomes a oh, how long are you off the tee? What's that carry distance? Then you got to get into like, oh well, like, you know, Scotty's gonna be up there somehow, Rom's gonna be up
Yeah.
there.
Well,
Then you go with those guys. Then you go with Victor
unless
Hovland even.
they, yeah, if unless they water it in, um, it looks like it's going to be sunny most of the week, maybe a little overcast at some
Yeah.
points. The highest percentage of rain there over the weekend was like 22%, 20, and 24.
Oh,
So
they're lovely then. They're living.
yeah, it's going to be firm and fast. You know, it's hilly. You know, they're going to be able to bomb it. You know,
Yeah.
we'll
You
see
catch the
who's
right
got
bounces, you get
their.
to the bottom of the hill, yeah.
Yeah, we'll see who has the accuracy this week, and you know it'll be a good send off. I am, you know, I was a little sad, you know, as preparing for this week's show, just thinking about, you know, that there's really not going to be any active golf. Like I said earlier, LPGA kind of crap in the bed late in the season with their schedule, and I get it; they're past their major season, and you know this week they're playing in Canada. Last week they played an event overseas, and I don't think it got much run on TV at all. There definitely weren't any replays. You know, I was looking for that. I think they played early in the morning. So, you know, I mean, LPGA, we've had a hard time. You
They're
know,
so hit or miss.
they are so hit.
Golly.
It's either hot or cold. There's no in between.
Golly.
Um, you know, it's like they either are killing it and knocking it out of the ballpark, or like forgetting that they exist. So,
Right.
you know, I guess Corn Ferry is going to be popping on
Like,
TV.
I'm thinking about it and I'm like, damn, like, do these people like because they're women, like, are we getting ready for school to start back up? Like, are we momming them? Like, why are we momming them? They can have a life. They can play golf. Just
I
because it's
know,
mid-August don't mean we got to slow it down.
I
Golly,
know.
bro. They be
I
doing
think
them
this is a
wrong
good
sometimes,
finish.
I swear. Like, who's the marketing director, bro? Like, who's doing it for them, bro?
um, you know, that's really all the topics, but I think this is a good end to the show. Perry with the strong question. I like this. I like this question. Um, do the Bearder Bros have a top 5 or top 10 list of best Texas courses? Um, I like that. So
Something
I'm
to
not
work
gonna go
for.
top 10. I'm not gonna go 10, but just of the ones that I have played, I'll go top to bottom. You know, in terms of tippy
Yeah,
top for me.
let's see.
Um, Pine Dunes in Frankfort, Texas, or
Okay.
Frankston, out in East Texas, number one course for me. Like the condition of that course, A1. And, you know, it's tough to say that, but that course was premium. Number two, and it's probably just because it's recent and the condition of the course was TPC. Um, why am I? Why is my brain
Craig Ranch.
struggling? Craig Ranch, TPC Craig Ranch was amazing. And the reason I say it's amazing, not just because it's a PGA Tour stop, but every lie in the fairway was immaculate.
Oh
The
yeah.
greens had been punched, sanded, and they were still rolling premium. I
They were
mean,
rolling true. Absolutely.
they were rolling. Were they as fast and as lightning? No. Um, Another one that is out in the colony. It's where the LPGA tour plays. I'm forgetting the name of it, but it's like two courses. It's a link style course, and a traditional parkland. So I'm totally blanking on that. Um, what's another one that I think is just like one that I would love to play every day of the week when it is good, and it's been far few and in between. Sneaky Good, Stevens Park in Dallas, Texas is really good. And one that I played with you recently that I think we didn't get to finish, but I really enjoyed the layout is the Wilderness down in Lake Jackson.
Yeah.
Um,
So No, that brings up a good point because, man, it's tough because, like, I feel like there's a lot of, like, to me, well, and I think we've had this discussion before, but to me, Houston has, like, the most flat line, like, even all around golf courses for sure.
Yeah,
But as far as, like, my love of the course, I feel like Austin, San Antonio has like the best like layouts and like conditions because you
yeah,
can get pretty much everything out there. You can get tree line, you can get links, you can get up and down. I mean, it's so good. But
yeah.
I just love Dallas golf. Like, I mean, it's just it's hard to explain, but like I don't even have like definitely not a hierarchy, not in order, but just spitfiring, like just Golf Club of Houston, um, member course though. Shout out to
Yeah.
Uncle Al. Anytime
Yeah,
he
that's the
gets us
thing.
on,
Like
it's never.
there's some private courses that you could get lucky and play. Like I think it was not Royal Oaks, but where Scottie Scheffler grew up playing. Like I
Yeah,
got invited to play there, but you can't just get onto that course. And it was one of the
exactly.
it was an amazing experience. So we're trying to go what's public, right? I think that's fair.
Oh, well, if that's the case, then let me take that out. So Houston was Cypress Wood, the traditions
Okay.
course, not the Cypress course. Always pristine, always very good. Wilderness 2, TPC Craig Ranch. I definitely love that one. I've gotten Stevens Park once, so I can't really throw that in my five.
Yeah.
Um, man, I've just been so like bogged down with Wildcat that I can't even really think of like all the courses that I played in Houston. I'm just sitting here like, dang, when the lakes looks good, man, whoo, boy, that's my
You know
course.
what's
But like,
crazy? So we use this app called, for anybody who's aware, Swarm used to be called something else, but
Foursquare,
Foursquare. Start off as Foursquare, change to Swarm. I was looking at like my check-ins. Since I've been using that app, I have like over 1,200 check-ins at
at golf
golf
courses alone,
facilities. It's like
alone,
stupid.
yeah,
It's so
I'm gonna have
damn
to check mine
stupid.
out.
So it's crazy how much golf we've played in Texas and a little bit outside. I don't know, man. To me, Texas golf is
It's a one of
I don't want
one,
to say
man.
it's different, right?
Yeah,
Depending on where you're at in the state. Like had a couple guys that I know have played down at Lajitas, down by the border, which you have to
yeah.
take like either a long drive, and I've heard that is like nuts. And
La
hadn't had the
Cantera,
opportunity. Yeah, La
Barton
Cantera
Creek.
is good.
There's so many resort golf courses out here where you can
Yeah.
just be like, yo, like let's play like and you can play like 3 courses on the property. On the property, already
Um,
there.
Sneaky good, and I've only played it once, but I heard about it many, many times before playing it. Quarry in San Antonio.
Yeah.
Now, the
Corey, TPC San Antonio. A lot of
thing I
them.
don't like about the Quarry is different from front nine to back nine. Back front nine is very wide open.
Hmm.
It's kind of The back nine, it's in the Quarry. It's nuts, man. Gets
Really.
hot as hell in there, but it's like stupid. Yeah, man. Shout out to Texas golf. If you haven't been down here and played, you need to do yourself, a favor. Come play golf in Texas. There's like hundreds of courses. We do it big down here in Texas. There's so much of everything. I think it's worth the
Facts.
trip. Pick a
Great
city.
question, Perry, for sure.
Yeah, 100%. Super good
Uh,
question. I'd be
Matter of fact,
interested.
yeah,
Go ahead.
that's what I was getting ready to say. This would be a great time. And, we're always looking for fan interaction. Leave a post underneath. Let us know your top five, your personal top five. You don't even have to put it in order, or you can do a top 10 and let us know how you feel, or wherever you've played,
Yeah,
your personal top five. It doesn't always have to be condition, price, exclusivity. It can be your personal favorite. That's what we love about these lists. It's all personal.
yeah.
So If y'all got it in you, if you're watching or if you come across this video, give us your 5 or 10.
Yep, I agree with that 100%. It does not have to be like sometimes it's the layout, right?
Right.
So,
Absolutely.
course that's not far from me, city called Crandall, Texas.
Oh my God. Here
Course
you
called
go.
Course called Rusted Rail, and I love the layout
Oh
of
my
that course,
God.
man.
Oh
It's
my
got some
God.
hills. I'm just saying, man. Like it doesn't have to be a
Respect. No.
$200 course for you to enjoy it and enjoy playing golf there. So yeah, absolutely. Get into the comment section. Tell us what's the top 5 in your state, where you like to play, and we'd love to read that list. We're always looking for great travel destinations and where to get some good
Definitely.
golf in.
We
Oh,
need to get a
super
trip in
overrated.
soon, brother.
Super underrated. Oklahoma City golf is like super underrated. I mean, we're talking about bent grass greens on their public courses.
Okay.
Shout out to Oklahoma City and pretty decent conditions in terms of temperature. Especially most months of the year they're a little hot right now. So yeah, there's so much underrated golf out there. So tell us where you're playing and where we should visit. So Bearded Bros Golf Show. Sad that the professional golf season is winding down, but we will have plenty to talk about throughout the rest of the year. We'll be back next week as we are every single week. I'm Rod.
And I'm Marcus.
Peace.
Later.